Hey everybody, Six Figure Family, welcome back. And today we're talking about how to target your traffic source. And so this is going to be a very, very solid video because think about with the ebooks that you've done, targeting is not an excuse for poor message. You still need to have a really, really solid message. And you saw I put up a post today, perhaps that if you saw it, basically says that I got 25 leads off my Facebook Live yesterday. Now it's up to 30 leads in about 24 hours with genuine names, genuine email addresses, genuine phone numbers, and that's because of really, really strong messaging. When I called it how to cure crippling addiction. So adjectives like crippling are so important. But with this, we're not talking about messaging today. That's something that I want you to do with your 30 days in a row of doing 30 Facebook Lives and testing different headlines. Sometimes, because I know a lot of you've got videos that have had a lot of views, but some of you have I don't know, say under 100 Facebook friends. Some of you have about 500 Facebook friends. Some of you have 1,000 Facebook friends. Some of you have 5,000 Facebook friends. So when you're doing a Facebook Live on your own page and your video after a week has still only had 5 views because you only have say maybe 50 Facebook friends or something, it becomes really important to start getting some traffic because you're just not connected to enough people for anyone to even see those headlines. So the same as if you've got an ebook and you just sort of put it on your page and you're not connected to enough people to see the headlines, then you're not really guaranteed to get anything because clearly not enough people are actually seeing it. So that's why with this, what I want to talk to you about is when you want to know who to target as a traffic source, because outside of this video we haven't spoken a lot yet about how to target. So let's get into it. This is something called Facebook Insights, and I'm doing Insomnia because basically when I asked you guys which training do you want first, Graham was the first to answer. So his topic's insomnia, and so we're going to talk about insomnia. And so on this, I'll just clear my results so you can see from scratch what I'm doing. I'll say create new, don't save. So I'll come up with interests, and we basically had sleep better. We then had insomnia events. Oops. We can then even say we'll get rid of the United States. Let's say Australia. You can target it via state, but you can see that the page likes people. This is what they like. You can see a lot of information. You can see the demographics. My brother and I, we chuck our information in here as well to see how many women, how many men. Location, it'll tell you roughly where they're from, and we set Australia's with. But looking at this, the amount of people that are into these topics, Sydney seems to be the strongest for those particular likes. But there's just so much information. It shows that nobody is basically on the desktop only. Some people are on the mobile only, so it needs to be a mobile optimized thing, and then it also needs to be for desktop as well, because most people are on both. And so from that you can either create an ad off it, or you can even save your audience. And I'll show you in my ads manager. I actually made an audience of this based off just Australia, which has 8,600 people in it. But also in South Australia, came up with an audience of 440 people. So if you want to target, literally if you want to use as a targeting for your ebook, you can basically just use Insomnia South Australia, which in your audience insights, you just put in, I'll get rid of Australia and put in South Australia. There we go. And it comes up with, the 440 people. So from here, on the audience insights, you would literally click save, It then asks you what you want to call your things. I'll show you like when it says save, you put in a name, and so like we called it Insomnia. So moving on, so once you've got that, that's an awesome thing to target. But I want to take you further because like what I promised, what I really want to get you into is learning how to actually not scrape data from groups, which Facebook doesn't like, but still how to get all of the data that you need off the Facebook groups, which is something that it seems like no one's really sort of like out there, no one's teaching, no one seems to be able to figure it out, but it's actually kind of quite simple. So first I'm going to show you this flowchart. So the short funnel, it starts with like once you've found like a group. So I'm just going to go back to this. So we were talking about Insomnia. So this group, you can see that it has over 11,000 members. You request to join it, and then once you're in, you literally just dump in a video that says, hey guys, thank you so much for having me in the group. Because you know some groups have rules that say that you're not allowed to just start advertising to their members straight away. But I want you to stick with me because this is the brilliance of this particular method of how this works. From the Facebook Live in the group to the custom audience, let me show you something that's amazing, that's kind of pretty new on Facebook, but it's been around for a little bit. Let's say that I want to actually make an ad. And so in my audiences, I'm going to create a custom audience. I'm going to say engagement, video. So then I can say people who watch just 3 seconds of my video, and then I get to choose which video, with no videos found. I just need to change to say it's from this page, or is it from so I'll start with that one. There's all these videos that I've got that I can target anyone who's seen like 3 seconds of my video. So if I do a video on my page and then share it into the Insomnia group, then do you get how then I can actually start using them as a traffic source? And so I'm just taking a look at what it lets you choose. So if not your Facebook page, campaigns that you put out. I've got a post that I did on the 9th. So my computer's just a little bit slow. That's going to take a little while. But the idea is like that you've put a Facebook Live in the group, and then you've chosen to select people who have seen 3 seconds of that video as your custom audience. So already the most active members in that Insomnia group become your custom audience. But now let's say we've got another issue because that audience may all live like in America or not in South Australia or like not in Australia at all. So we create a lookalike audience based off the custom audience. And so just let me show you like what that looks like. So we'll come back to the one. So I'm just going to take one of my audiences, like addiction opt-in. And so if I just basically say create a lookalike, what a lookalike is, I'll just put in addiction opt-in. It's people who look like the previous audience. Then I get to say location, countries, Australia. There we go. So even though my audience that saw my video, let's say a couple hundred people in the Insomnia group saw 3 seconds or more of my video. So I use as a source the people that have been targeted that have watched 3 seconds of my video who live in Australia, and now I hit create audience, and then it gives me an audience in Australia that I can start targeting as a lookalike audience. So this is basically you dump to Facebook Live into the Insomnia group or whichever group you've got. You then target people that have seen 3 seconds of the video and make a custom audience from it. Then you make the lookalike audience being Australians that look like that custom audience. So this is something that nobody else is teaching. So already this right here is massive. If you need to ask questions in the comment section, please ask, because we can take you through a little bit more click by click. We can do all sorts of things. But first I just want you to get this concept. Previously, before this, the only way that you could basically get information from a group like that had like 11,000 people is by scraping, which could potentially get your Facebook ad account banned. And so Facebook has closed down all of these loopholes, but now they've come and given you this, where you can engage, you can basically target people that have engaged in 3 seconds of your video. Then you have your Facebook ebook using your lookalike audience as your targeting. Then the next step is that they land on your opt-in, and this is where we're going to put some retargeting code. So let's say that you've built this audience, you've got a Facebook ad, people have clicked on it, but let's say they haven't opted in, but these are still the right people for you because they've shown an interest. At this point, let me show you how to put retargeting code on a page. So let's say the addiction opt-in, I want to create a custom audience, a customer file, and add sorry, I'm going to go back. Website traffic. That's it. So what I want to do, anyone in the last 180 days who landed on my addiction, landed, but no opt-in. So I create an audience on that has nobody in it yet. And that's done. Now what I do is I say, view my pixel. I copy the data and I go to I'll get there. Here we are. So I go to edit the page in my ClickFunnels. You remember that I got my tracking pixel code. And now there needs to be a spot where you get to put the tracking pixel code. So once this has loaded, tracking code, and you can see I've already put it here, but basically that's where it goes. That's I'd already made one called addiction opt-in, and so I've already put the code there. But then you hit save, and now anyone who lands on this page but doesn't opt in, I still get to use them as a traffic source. So let's go back to this. So like we basically said, make a Facebook Live video that goes for like say 10 seconds and say, hey everyone, thanks for having me in the group. Dump it in a group that's perfect for you. I've already dumped in the group, in the Six Figure Track group, a number of groups that have at least 10,000 people each. So you can put a Facebook Live in that group and say hi to everybody. Then target as a custom audience anyone who's seen at least 3 seconds of that video. Create a lookalike audience in Australia, which looks like those people that you saw, but actually exist in Australia. The reason for the lookalike audience, when I say looks like, what do I mean by looks like? It's a lookalike audience. Facebook has access to so much information on you and everybody else out there that they can basically judge you and your audience on 15,000 data points. So what this means is that Facebook knows so much about what someone with insomnia or any other condition that you're looking for looks like, that they can basically track their online behaviors, what pages they like, what kind of times they're on the internet, like what's happened in their life recently, and then you can use it as a targeting source for your ebook. Put your retargeting code in the opt-in. There's the retargeting pixel, and then once you know that these people have wanted your opt-in, even if they didn't opt in with you, you then get to create a Facebook ad for your actual offer, like the HOC page. And the HOC basically stands for the headline, offer, and call to action, or the whether it's headline or whether it's hook, offer, call to action. So if you have an offer page offering your services, so remember $200 per session at 8 sessions for one problem, and you want to know how do you get like all these visitors, this is it. You can create such brilliant targeting. Like this is the most advanced targeting that there is. Like Facebook is amazing, but the problem is that most people just don't know how to use it. So this is how to use it. So just to go back through it quickly again, make a video, introduce yourself to the people in the group, make sure it's like, say basically first add yourself, like ask to join a group that's massive. if they have rules to say that you're not allowed to just start dumping, like your Facebook ad in, then dump in a welcome video and say hi. Then create a custom audience based on people that saw 3 seconds of your video, because you are allowed to do that. Create a lookalike audience in Australia based on the 15,000 data points that you don't have to even know what that means. You can basically just create a lookalike audience, and it'll be people with insomnia that live in South Australia or live in Australia or live where you target. Have your Facebook ad that you've got, basically use your lookalike audience as your targeting. Ebook opt-in, so that's where they've clicked on your ad, they've landed on your page, it's activated the retargeting code, so now Facebook knows they've landed on your page. Then have another Facebook ad and using the retargeting pixel as your traffic source now, because this is people who landed on your ebook page but perhaps hadn't opted in, but you can offer them your program, and that ad that they click on lands on your actual offer. So that's it. That's basically as much as that you would need to know to get started, to have absolutely deadly accurate, a short funnel, deadly accurate information on who to actually choose as your traffic source. Because Facebook really is amazing on just how much information that it gives you. And no one else is using a strategy like this. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Let us know if you have questions. Please comment under this video and tell me what you've learned, what you take from this video, questions that you still have on it, because this stuff is just, I seriously cannot believe just how much information Facebook gives you versus in the 80s, all the campaigns you had to run that would cost you thousands of dollars. I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you so much. Put this into action. Commit to it. Tell me in the comment section you committed to this. Ask your questions. I'll talk to you soon.